Hey guys, guess what? We have a new kitchen! For the last probably 6 or 8 weeks, I've been building out the new MyCupcakeAddiction studio kitchen in my garage. Come in and take a look. I'm so excited to show you it. It's all MCA. We have this whole space now. So this is the new MyCupcakeAddiction kitchen. Behind us is everything that you guys are going to see for all future videos. Now previously my filming kitchen was also my home kitchen. I recently moved from that house and here I have the luxury of sticking my cars outside in the rain and using the garage to create a purpose-built filming studio. This is game-changing for me because previously I would do all of the breakfasts, make all the lunches, get the kids off to school, and then at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I would start setting up the lights, the cameras, everything that it took to turn my home kitchen into a kitchen that was ready to film in. Now I can walk down here and literally flick like 2 switches, the lights are on, the kitchen's clean, and everything in here is just for baking and all things MCA. I'm super excited to show you guys a little bit about the process of making this kitchen. Of course, I vlogged it because why wouldn't I? So we started off with a delivery of 197 pieces of flat pack IKEA kitchen, which was kind of overwhelming, so I called in some help. Fast forward 2 weeks from flat pack hell and the kitchen's finally started. So a little while ago I moved house and I've been meaning to put in a new studio kitchen. This is my garage and this is where I'm going to be building the new MyCupcakeAddiction kitchen. So if you come through here, this is the very beginnings of my kitchen as it starts to get built. I mean, it doesn't look like much yet, but you guys are gonna see how it's gonna turn out. Once it was all put together, it actually kind of got installed pretty quickly. It's the morning of day 2 of the studio kit out, and you can see that it's all coming together. Not quite finished yet, but it's looking so good. This is gonna be the MyCupcakeAddiction home for the foreseeable future. All right, it's starting to take shape, but bear in mind, there's no actual stuff in here yet. So we just moved everything over from the old kitchen into the new kitchen. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit overwhelming. There is like crap everywhere. We have so much stuff to sort through. I have to somehow make this an organized mess. I'm hoping that I will have the most organizing cake room / studio in the world, but I had no idea I even owned this much stuff. This is gonna be one heck of a challenge. I am on day 5 of setting up the new studio kitchen. We moved everything over last week. I gave myself 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, to finish this off, and it is now Friday and I am in a massive mess. This is where we're at. This is the trash that my husband will be taking to the tip. An entire trailer full of just trash. I feel like I may have been hoarding cake stuff over the last few years. And I want to flip you guys around and show you everything else that I've still got to go. Bear in mind, this is day 5. This is not day 1. This has been a bigger mess than this since day 1. Let's take a look. So here we've got a couple of trestle tables set up. This is stuff that I've like identified as probably being surplus, and I'm gonna have my friends and my sister come around and take whatever they want. This is stuff that I still have to unpack and find homes for. Lighting that we're not sure what we're gonna do with yet. Cake boards upon cake boards upon cake boards. Still being sorted, and bear in mind day 5. So a lot of this has actually already moved. This is at the front of my house. It has literally looked like some kind of a weird yard sale for the last week. I feel kind of bad for my neighbors. We're inside now. I have a wall of boxes. I am systematically unpacking these final 8 to 10 boxes today, and then all of these little tubs of ingredients and things on the floor. My dad has been here still building bits and pieces. My sister's getting that cool box of stuff because I can't part with it. I don't want it to go anywhere. And I'm really still sorting through all of this. Oh my God, check out these popsicle lights. I have no use for them, but I don't want to get rid of them because they're utterly adorable. So they're going to be something that I probably hang on to for a while. I'm sort of getting there in terms of storage. I still have a few like window hangings. Hi! I still have a few window hangings and things that need to go up. Coming into the actual kitchen, again, mess, 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 but it's less of a mess than it has been for the rest of the week. The only thing that I feel like I'm getting some kind of satisfied organization with is this wall, which is basically all of my styling and props and things. I feel like this is probably like my happy space in this room at the moment, and I hope that when it's all said and done, I can turn this absolute huge crazy mess into something that's really neat and really functional. All right, so I am getting towards the end of my studio process, but what I've ended up with is I've been searching and searching for the right colored things to add the pops of color to match my fridge and to match my mixer and to really create the vibe that I want, and they're really hard to find. So I've got my cans of brightly colored spray paint and I'm out in my front yard DIYing some really kind of boring things or not as bright things to make them match in with my studio colors. I'm gonna do some pegboard hooks. These guys, normally very silver, but we're spray painting them to make them yellow and pink so that when my cookie cutter wall comes to life, the pegs themselves, or the little peg hooks themselves, are just as much fun as all the cookie cutters that are on there. Because let's face it, we're better than white pegboard and silver hooks. We can color coordinate our hooks. We can just, why not? So after the pegboard hooks, I kind of got a little bit spray bomb mad. I couldn't find the yellow pineapple that I wanted, so I've sprayed my own. The yellow pineapple was the wrong yellow and it was 70 bucks. This guy was 20 and I sprayed him with my $7 spray bomb. I've now got photo frames that are gonna match. Down here I've been working with pink and blue to make these awesome little custom cake stands and custom frames. I cannot wait to show you what I do with these guys in the studio and how cool they look. And the thing that I love most about them, both of these things were literally destined for the trash. And now they're super hot pink and they're going in the studio to live another day. So we are now on day 9 of the great studio makeover. And while some things are looking very organized, you can see I still have a bit of work to do. I've been working tirelessly on this while still editing videos, but I haven't filmed anything in here yet. I've actually just finished DIYing some fun elements out the front. I'm ecstatic with how this is looking at the moment. I've gone really kind of minimal in color for the bulk of the studio with really nice bright pops of color. We've put in, this guy's not in his final resting place yet. He's still in the styling process. We've put in floating shelves. We've got all of our top cabinets, which are all lit so that I can illuminate. Above me is all of my studio lighting. And I think the last thing to go in is going to be the rest of the cameras. While it's still a work in progress, I think we are almost there. All right, so some of the things that you may not know about filming kitchens is with all of these lights and things that are in front of me, they cause a lot of reflection. What you don't want is a ton of reflection taking away from, for example, all of the beautiful things that I put up top. So these guys here have still got glass in them because they were fine and they weren't posing a problem for reflection, but the other ones over here, I had to smash the glass out of, so there's actually nothing there. It kind of still looks like a window, it looks like a door, but I can just reach in and pull out my pineapple if I want to. A lot of the stuff that I did in here, I really searched long and hard for different custom colored things, and then I did a DIY on my Facebook live stream a little while ago where I realized I was just never gonna find the right shades of color, so I painted my own. I got a color-coded fridge, a color-coded mixer, and then I painted all of these different accessories to perfectly match them. This fridge, let's talk about this fridge. The fridge that I initially wanted was $6,000. I am not even kidding, maybe just shy, 5,900 or something like that. There's no way I'm dropping $6,000 on a fridge. All it's gonna do is keep stuff cold. So I found this one, which was 750 bucks, standard white fridge, like the look of it, dropped it into an auto body shop, so a car shop, and they painted it just like they would a car. It cost me $400 to get that painted, but what I've ended up with for about 1,250 bucks is a completely custom, one-of-a-kind MyCupcakeAddiction fridge in the exact color that I wanted, and I didn't have to spend $6,000. As an added bonus, they also color-coded my mixer for me, so I got this awesome hot kind of a fuchsia pink mixer made, and it is one of a kind. Nobody else will ever have this color. This is our MyCupcakeAddiction mixer, guys. Everything is getting made in the pink mixer from now on. Some of the other things that I want to show you guys around, you'll notice I haven't put my little knobs and things up here because I didn't want them to be in camera, but I've got really fun storage options in this room. I mean, I don't know if you want to see inside all of my drawers, but we could take a little look. You guys have been asking me for a kitchen tour for ages. So this guy here is literally just for paddles and chopping boards and all things to cut on. There's different colors, different shades, different shapes. I'm never normally this organized. This is probably the only time I will let you look through every single one of my drawers while they're super neat. This guy here is just for chopping boards, and then there's some metal bowls and some things that would go onto the stove. Actually, they're in the wrong place. They need to be upper level. They need to be upper level. And then this is just for tea towels and napkins. I get to have a drawer just for tea towels and napkins. So different colors, different sizes, different shapes, depending on what I'm shooting and what colors I want to match in with the different bowls and things that I'm using. Down here, I call this the party drawer. This is party central because it's like lolly bags and it's confetti and it's bunting and I mean, just all things fun. Heaps of different types of napkins. So whenever I take Instagram photos or shots for thumbnails on Instagram, I'll go to that drawer and work out if there's a little bit of something that I can add into the corner of my picture to make it just a little bit cuter. Down this side, I've got a couple of these kind of roundy cupboards next to my oven, and they just hold now all of my like hand mixers. There's a blender in there. We've got some popsicle molds and things. They don't have to be super neat, but I mean, it's all baking stuff, so I don't need to make room for any household cooking appliances here. Everything in this room is mine, which I love. My oven's down here. I love this oven because it's white, so it matches my kitchen, and it also turns off automatically. So if I finish baking something and I'm upstairs or I forget about it or whatever, it will actually auto turn off, which means, I mean, we may overcook a little, but it's not gonna burn to a crisp. Fantastic. So I've got another one of these cool little cupboards, and again, this is just for like cake turntables, giant cupcake molds, silicone molds, bowls, more bowls. You can never have too many bowls. And then down here, I like to call it all the fun stuff. So I've got all my chocolate molds and tart pans and things. Look at those chocolate molds. Do I have a problem? Do I have a problem when it comes to collecting molds and pans and things? I think I might have a few too many. Anyway, I love this cupboard because I think this is where a lot of my fun and inspiration comes from. Seriously, why haven't we used these yet? These are teeth. Why have we not used the teeth yet? This needs to change. One of the coolest things about redoing this studio is all of the fun stuff that I've managed to find that's been buried underneath my decorating boxes for far too long now. So expect to see some really fun ideas for things that I've had for ages that I just never got around to making. This drawer up here, I gave this drawer to my husband because he said that he needed space for all of his tech. So this is where he's going to charge all of his batteries and keep batteries and things like that. He gets one drawer in this kitchen. I'm like, make it count because the rest of the kitchen is mine. Down here, we've got just a bunch of different trays, probably my more used trays. So my cake pop molds and my cupcake trays and things like that. And then in these 4 drawers are all of my utensils. Look at this. This is IKEA storage, and they've got these different kind of little containers, long containers, but I've managed to kind of really, that's my little touch-up kit. It's my little touch-up kit so I can brush my hair in the middle of shoots if I need to. This guy here is a bit more of a mess. He doesn't have IKEA storage yet, but he'll get it. These are all of my new bowls. So you'll notice the color scheme that I've chosen for the new look My Cupcake Addiction kitchen. It's very white and very clean with pops of super loud color. So I want to translate that into our videos and into our tutorials because I think the stuff that we make on this channel is so fun and bright and colorful. Why are we making it in like boring brown glass or white bowls? I'm gonna put more fun into our videos. And then down into my very bottom drawer, this is kind of the more obscure things that I don't use very often. So some of my kind of more bespoke cake decorating tools, things like candy thermometers, little tiny cake boards, plunge cutters, and things that I want to keep and I certainly don't want to get rid of, but I'm not using them every day, so they can go all the way down there. Over here I've got some spare bowls and bits and pieces. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. They kind of haven't quite made the grade when it comes to going with my different color schemes, but I also can't bear to throw them out, so we'll see. And then I've got recipes and bits and pieces and all of my different boring kind of sandwich bags and scrapers and things. Oh, and my circle cutters. You guys know I love my circle cutters. I have 3 different sets up here. I have 5 different sets actually, circles, squares, and all sorts. So that's where I'm keeping some of my other more not so cute to look at, but use all the time stuff. In my fridge at the moment, and this fridge, I know everyone's gonna tell me it opens the wrong way. I actually bought it because I can buy another kit that goes on this side that makes it open the other way, so I know I can switch it around, but for now it opens the wrong way. My freezer has nothing exciting in it because I haven't really been shopping. I mean, it has blueberries and a sponge roll. Some no frills ice cream just in case I want to make a smoothie. And then my fridge has literally nothing in it. It still has the tape on the little container there. So officially guys, this is the cleanest you will ever see my fridge. I have some whipped topping, some tomato sauce, a ton of Philadelphia cream cheese, and some butter. Lord knows what we're gonna make with that. Tomato sauce cheesecake. This cupboard here is the only cupboard that I have to store my actual dry ingredients. It looks like I have 3 cupboards. Those 2 are basically just a tease because my hot water system for the whole house is in there. So those 2 cupboards are taken up completely with hot water system. I know, rude. So I've got to condense all of my dry ingredient storage into this cupboard. I've tried to be very precise about the way that I've put it all together, and I've got little individual tubs and things so that I can tub out all of my little candies so they're not all just hanging around. All of my cake boards and things are at the bottom. I mean, I'm not sure how I'm gonna fit all of the food and ingredients that I buy in just this one cupboard, but I'm gonna have to be pretty disciplined. I've got another cupboard here just for storage. I didn't want too much storage in here because I have plenty in the kitchen and I didn't want it to become a junk room. I want this to be somewhere where I've only got my favorite things and I've kind of gotten rid of the stuff that I don't necessarily use anymore. Which brings me to my styling wall. This is my happy place in this garage kitchen studio. I have so many cake stands. I have so many tiered cake stands, individual cake stands. I had more mason jars than any single person should ever have in their life. Little milk bottles, all sorts of crazy stuff. I had to do a pretty decent cult, so I had a lot of my girlfriends come around and take cake stands that maybe I had like 4 white ones and I only really needed 2. So they got a lot of my leftovers or things that I didn't deem as being perfectly worthy for the wall. So one of the things that I love about this space is I've managed to edit myself down to just my favorites when it comes to my cake stands and all of my styling essentials. When I say styling essentials, when I go and make something like a milkshake, I might want to make it in a traditional milkshake glass. I might want to make it in something a little bit more vintage. And I have so many of these little bits and pieces that I've picked up over the years. But when they're all buried under boxes and wrapped in bubble wrap, it's really hard to find them at the moment that you need them. So this is designed to be my wall of style. And anytime I make something, I can come in and I can pick the colors that are going to match and also the different sizes, styles. I've got everything from tiered cake stands up the top, a green bunny rabbit for springtime. And then in this section here, I've just got literally all of my favorite things. So I've got my gorgeous little Royal Albert china sets. I've got measuring cups. I've got egg cartons. I've got milk bottles and jars and jam jars and mason jars and all sorts of cool stuff. But all of this helps me to elevate whatever it is that I'm making on the channel and just make it look a little bit nicer than just serving it in a regular cup. I mean, that one's kind of cute, right? I love this because it is serious organization, but one of the things that I love most is our use of actual tool caddies. So I've gotten physical storage from like a Home Depot or a Bunnings, we call it here in Australia, and I've got all of these little things that are supposed to hold tools and other bits and pieces, screws, sockets, wrenches, whatever. Instead, they're holding luster dusts and they're holding piping tips. I've got little cake toppers, tiny forks. I've got all of my lollipop sticks, cute, oh my God, super, super cute little candles because they're adorable and they were in a box somewhere and they needed to be out where I could find them. I've got so many great things that I've discovered. I've been like a kid in a candy store while I've been unpacking everything, but even things like paintbrushes, all of these different sizes and styles of paintbrushes. When you're actually luster dusting something, it can be really hard to find the right paintbrush in that mess of a drawer. So I can just come over, pick out the one that I want and get to work. Hopefully it'll save me a lot of time. This guy here is my speed rack. This one is designed, and there's nothing on it at the moment because I'm not shooting a recipe today, but this is designed that when my recipes are ready to shoot, they're all weighed up, all their containers are on, everything's ready to go, they all go on a tray and they sit in a spot on one of these shelves. Once they're filmed, they come back to the shelf filmed before I take all of the photos and things and I move on to the next recipe, and that way I can take all the photos together. It just allows me to keep them all kind of organized and it stops them from junking up the kitchen. This space is so organized. I'm so excited. All right, over this way, this is kind of my husband's domain. So everything that we shoot, he is the only other one in the room with me. He's filming me and we shoot on just Canon DSLR cameras. So it's not a crazy big production or anything. This is the TV screen that he'll watch me on and that I'll watch myself on from time to time. And it's also how we set up our shots and make sure that you guys can see all of the ingredients and things. But the new kitchen is looking gorgeous in there. You can see the different camera options we have. We just shoot with this one camera right here, which is the main one that's straight on to me. And then my husband stands over here and kind of like mans this camera to get all of those nice little close-in footage shots. And we also have another one that normally lives in the roof above my head. It's not there at the moment, but it's going up on those racks. I've got some lights that are hung in the ceiling, and they're just designed to make everything look a lot brighter and a lot nicer. And then I also put some really cute little lights up into the insides of the cupboards to add a bit of warmth because I didn't want it to look too sterile. To the cookie cutter wall. Yes, we have a cookie cutter wall. Over here, and I've always wanted this, I got pegboard and I color coordinated all of my hooks in one of those DIY videos that I was talking about on Facebook. And I color coordinated little yellow, pink and blue hooks so that I could hang all of my favorite, and I want to say not used often enough, cookie cutters. I can look at a glance, and this gives me not only inspiration for things that I want to make, but also just allows me to be able to organize my life in a way that's kind of therapeutic and pretty to look at. Speaking of therapeutic, I may need therapy with the amount of sprinkles that I have. I was going to try and limit this to one shelf, and then it expanded into two. Before I knew it, I had 4 shelves of sprinkles. So I think I may have a problem, but I mean, you can never have too many sprinkles, right? Is anyone going to tell me I can't with all this space? Down the bottom, I've just got all of my food colorings all laid out for the first time with super neat organizedness. And I've got just some little color sprays and some flavorings and things like that. Because this kitchen's been built in a garage, we had to soundproof a little bit, and we also had to heat-proof because obviously they've got those tin doors. So my dad and my husband, who are super handy, kind of paneled the inside of everything with these, I think they might actually be roof panels, but they keep the heat out, they also keep the noise out, and they give us a little bit more protection from the elements. And then all around the upside and the top's all been completely sealed so that nothing, no rats or anything like that from the outside area can get in. This is it. This is the new MyCupcakeAddiction studio. I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited to be going to shoot in here for the next 500 videos. That old kitchen served us very, very well, but I think we're in need of a bit of an update. I love the color scheme here, and I thought long and hard about it. I wanted really white, light and airy, and I wanted it to feel kind of sunny, hence the light blue background. It kind of reminds me of being outside. And then I went with pops of super loud color. Because what we do is colourful, right? So the bright pink, the bright yellow, and then little pops of colour all around the place. I feel like they just make this exactly what it is. A fun, happy, and incredibly friendly place to come and cook. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment box down below. What do you guys think of the new kitchen? The new styling, do you like my yellow pineapple? How do we do? It's completely different to the old one, but I personally absolutely love it, and I think you guys will too.